Hello and welcome to the Rams pregame show delivered by Little Caesars, the official pizza of your LA Rams. Live at SoFi Stadium, it's week 3. It's the home opener. It's San Francisco against LA. JB Long, DeMarco Farr, and Maurice Jones-Drew. So glad to be with you. Guys, we only get to do this once per year. I know the records aren't what either team wants. I know the injury report is a little bit daunting. But come on, 49ers against the Rams, that's what we wait all year for.
Are you not entertained? Are you not excited?
About to be.
It is football Sunday. The energy should be at an all-time high. I care less who plays. DeMarco, you once told me when I first joined the Rams that Niner week is a different week.
Oh, yeah.
It's a different week in the Jones-Drew household as well.
I love it.
We're a little angry. I didn't feed my kids.
Oh, they're hungry.
No.
Come on.
I got to have them ready to go. We got to be ready to go for Sunday.
You got to feed them Rusty Nail sandwiches. You can't starve them.
I was like, no, we're going to starve them because I want them to be hungry for today.
Yeah, this ain't week 3 to me. This is 49er week, and it's all week. It starts at the end of week 2 and then lasts until this game is over. So it's serious. I can't stand people walking by with all this red on. I got some 49er exec throwing pins into the stands. This is driving me crazy. I may leave the booth. I may go tackle people right now.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Since we're all talking about the home front, it started pre-7 a.m. at the Long household with some disciplinary issues, and it was, boys, if you don't keep your hands off each other, you don't get to go to SoFi Stadium.
Oh,
nice.
That cleaned up all the issues like that.
So they wanted to be physical already, so they know what kind of game this has to be.
I love it.
We got hands on other people. I love it. Let's go.
Aside from our children, what needs to happen here today against the 49ers?
Well, I'll tell you what. You have to win the trenches if you're the Rams. You have to win. You have to win the line of scrimmage. Defensive line has to dominate the Rams, the Niners' offensive line. The Rams' offensive line has to protect Matthew Stafford and create lanes in the running game. And then we'll see where it goes from there. But you have to start there if you want to have any success today.
The word today for me is cannonball. And I have to tell you, I like watching San Francisco's offense on film. They are fun to watch. Their run schemes are unbelievable. Their precision is top-notch. But the only thing that beats precision in this game is disruption. So cannonball is the number one word. You got to cannonball up the field and just disrupt that timing. If you disrupt that run game, you pull Purdy out from behind that offense, and then you can get after it. And on the other side, like you said, keep Matthew Stafford upright. I just saw Leonard Floyd run by a few minutes ago. He looks like he's ready to go. And Bosa looks like a superhero.
He sure does.
This is not going to be easy, but it is paramount that you keep Matthew Stafford upright.
I don't know if our audience just saw that, but a butterfly just landed on your shoulder there. Isn't that how the 49ers got past the Detroit Lions?
I thought that's good luck.
That's a sign.
I think that's a sign.
That might be exactly what they need today.
Yes.
Maybe that turns the injury story around as well, because even though it feels like the Rams would like to reinvent themselves a little bit, especially on offense, with Davis Allen scratched today, those back spasms still an issue. They only have 2 tight ends. What option do they have to shake things up on offense?
To me, you can still run the ball out of your 11 personnel. You can still be the team that you want to be. But I think you have to lean on the legs of Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, who we saw late in Arizona, who showed some juice. He had some fresh legs, and he was running. And not only that, this is going to be one of those games, it's going to be a war of attrition, meaning special teams has to come into play. Field position is important, and you may have to try to steal a possession.
Whatever black cat ran under a ladder that broke a mirror with all this bad injury luck, let's solve that. But when you talk about reimagining the offense, there's only so much you can do. Like you said, 2 healthy tight ends, you got 3 good backs. So if you're Sean McVay, I think everything and every personnel group and formation is on the table today. You've got to try to get an edge.
I mean, if Dennis Gardeck was getting after you last week, then I think it has to start up front, doesn't it?
Yes.
3 games, another starting offensive line combination. Logan Bruss set to make his first Ram start at guard today, but how about at left tackle? It's been the biggest issue, I think, on the entire roster. Alaric Jackson was going to be the starter, suspended for 2 games. That means his 24 begins today.
Fresh legs, right? That matters. You've been sitting out for 2 weeks. And both of your replacement left tackles have been absolutely filleted. So I would say this, if I was Jackson's teammate, the first 15 is on me. Go out there, set the tone against them, and then play your best game because you're going to need it.
It's funny you say that. When I remember playing, a guy would get suspended for whatever it may be, you give him the look.
You owe.
You owe.
You owe.
You owe us. Meaning, you get no help you get nothing. You're out there to do your job and to the best of your ability. And like you said, if you got to set the tone, set the tone.
What if that job, though, is against Nick Bosa and our old friend Leonard Floyd?
Then set the tone. I hope it's Bosa. I hope you get a chance to bury. Like this on the other side with Jared Verse. This is the reason you were drafted, because of Trent Williams and San Francisco. So I hope you are ready for this moment. Imagine if Jared Verse bull rushes Trent Williams into the quarterback and gets a sack. What does that do for this sideline? What does that do for their sideline? What does that do for this crowd?
So you're saying he was drafted to change the course of this rivalry?
Absolutely. You're drafted to go nose to nose with that. Same with Alaric Jackson. You're being paid to stop those guys from getting to Matthew Stafford.
I believe last year when Alaric became the left tackle, it was for this type of game. Okay. Period, point blank. Big square tackles that can get off the ball and run block. In the pass protection, you can hold up because you can hold the bull rush. That's it. That's all.
You talked a little bit about the running game and the running backs. What about at receiver? Without Puka, now without Cooper Kupp, who's not on injured reserve yet, but clearly not going to play today. Is it Tutu? Is it someone else? Is it Jordan Whittington? Is it Demarcus Robinson? Who's the guy?
Yes. Yeah, all of them, absolutely. I would love to see Tutu have a day.
Yes, me too.
That would be fun. The guy I'm looking at actually is Jordan Whittington. I think he's the closest you're going to get to a Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua clone. He's a big enough dude that you can play at receiver and that you can also factor into the run game.
No, to me, it's Tutu Atwell. If we want to be able to run the ball and stretch the field vertically, his speed has to be seen early and often. Take a shot just to take a shot. Do you remember what happened last week from the 3-yard line on the Niners when they were in Minnesota? And Justin Jefferson is streaking down the field. Sam Darnold crow hops and throws the ball 60 yards. That's what you have to threaten them with. And after that, the Niners were done. They were now, we got to play back. And then they open up everything underneath. If you can stretch the field vertically with Tutu Atwell, have a solid run game, it's going to give the Rams the best chance to be successful offensively.
Not often do you get to go up against the Niners and feel like you have the best tight end in the building.
Yes.
With George Kittle scratched today, Colby Parkinson might be that dude. Look for him to have a game as well. Hey, we're rocking our Royal and Soul collection here. Hope you like it. For more on how you can secure some of your own, what a model DeMarco is. Let's send it over to the person who wears it best and also I think has the best shirt in the entire collection, Ricky Hollywood.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate that. I mean, I'm going to get to the shirt in a second, and I thought you were going to say I was the best model, but DeMarco got that as well. Also, the butterfly, such a great omen. I think it's similar to the leather pants last year. I hope I'm right.
Good throwback.
Absolutely, right? So the running game, we talked about it a little bit. Kyron Williams and Blake Corum are healthy. We need to lean on the run game, and I expect Blake Corum to get more touches today. Also, no Christian McCaffrey, but that doesn't mean that the defense doesn't have to stop Jordan Mason, who's gone for 20 carries and 100 yards over that in the last 2 games. Let's not make it a third. The defense needs to contain him as well. And you said it, I am rocking the Royal and Soul collection. It is awesome. It's comfortable. You can get it online or right here in the equipment room in SoFi Stadium. And yeah, I may be the best dressed at SoFi Stadium today.
No maybe about it. You are. Thank you, Erica. All right, back. MJD, DeMarco, JB, we're counting down to kickoff here. Let's get to some of the 49ers woes. Enough with what's ailing the Los Angeles Rams. She mentioned it there. No Christian McCaffrey. I think that's translated into a few things. The 49ers are not getting yards after a catch. They've been abysmal on 3rd and 4th down. They're getting chunk plays, but they're not scoring touchdowns. How do you continue that trend today?
Stopping the run. Don't let Mason get going. If you let him get going, then it becomes an issue. If you can stop the run and force Brock Purdy to have to drop back, read coverage, and beat you, that's where he struggles. He's great on play-action pass, but without a running game, it really hampers their passing game a ton.
And without the quick game, too, right? Like, that's where CMC was always that safety valve. You saw last week in Minnesota, he's patting the ball. His time to throw is over 3 seconds. That's why he got sacked a career-high 6 times last week on the road against the Vikings. No Kittle, no Christian McCaffrey, no Debo.
They can still run the ball, though, and they have. So the guys that stand out to me, Bobby Brown's got to have a day today. Kobe Turner's got to take a step forward. You have got to force the 49ers behind the chains and off schedule so you can force Brock Purdy to the front and make him try to beat you with his arm. Look, Shanahan knows what's up. He knows what to do. 1st and 10 is everything in this football game. If they have success, that means they can keep running their offense. If they get behind the chains, everything must change, and then you'll have a chance to get after them.
So Jared Verse said a couple of things this week. One, when we execute, nobody's going to be able to stop us. They have not executed through 2 games, and speaking specifically of his own shortcomings last week, an inability to track down Kyler Murray, he says that's never going to happen again. Now, I know Brock Purdy is not Kyler Murray, but he can still be pretty elusive in and off platform.
No, did Kyler Murray retire? Oh, it's never going to happen again. Oh, yeah, it will. Yeah. Go ahead.
No, I love that confidence and that ability. When I read those and I heard that that statement come out of his mouth, it was confident that we didn't execute. We didn't do our part. I have to be better, and that's what you want from a young leader. He's a leader. The question is, how do you respond after that?
Yeah.
Right? We can say all we want to and do all the talking. All the work is done on this field and all the execution. You have to execute better today. How do you get your defense to execute better?
Oh, I love it. I think you had to say it because this defense is looking for a leader. It is a rookie that does it, but I would just say careful making statements. You know what I'm saying? Careful saying it'll never happen again because it just might today, but just do your job a little bit better. All that stuff that worked against Arizona will work against San Francisco, but this is a different quarterback in Brock Purdy. You'll have a chance to get this guy on the ground.
A quick word on Fred Warner, who's having another all-pro season through 2 weeks. He's been everywhere for this San Francisco defense, and with Talanoa Hufanga back at safety too, the spine of this 49er defense is a problem once more.
I got to say this about Fred Warner watching him play. This dude will make plays 25 yards from where he lined up and then beat his entire defense back to the huddle. He's an energizer bunny. But eventually that wears out if you can keep him on, keep him on the field. You keep picking up first down.
He is Superman, but his kryptonite is run at him. If you force those big guys, Logan Bruss, Bo Limmer, all those guys to get on him, those interior linemen to get on him and force him to get off blocks, he struggles just a little bit. He's still dynamic, but he struggles just a little bit. If you run side to side, that's what you see great Fred Warner, and that's what he's been. Side-to-side guy.
I need that X to come out in Bo Limmer. That's how he spells his name.
It's one of the, I think, great contrasts in roster building between these two rivals. Remember when San Francisco sent their all-world defensive tackle to Indianapolis while the Rams kept theirs, and Aaron Donald's like, okay, that's different. Well, this year the Rams sent their captain and starting middle linebacker to Tennessee before the season started, and San Francisco has arguably the best off-ball linebacker in football.
Crazy.
So
Yeah.
a contrast in philosophies. Can you make yourselves right and get your first win of the season? All right, before we close it out, let's get to our delivery of the game, delivered by Little Caesars, the official pizza of the LA Rams. Guys, we're going to take a look at the players you think will deliver today against the Niners.
Well, the first guy I'm thinking of would be Trey White.
Oh.
Trey White has
Get
had
back.
the toughest go of anybody in a Rams uniform this season. Amon-Ra St. Brown, that's week 1. Week 2, you get the coming out party of Marvin Harrison Jr. Can you imagine if that kid turns out to be a bigger version of his father?
Oh, listen.
Good Lord.
Terrified.
And today you've got Brandon Ayuk, who in my opinion is just lying in wait, waiting for his coming out party.
You think the rust has been knocked off after 2 weeks?
And who else are you going to? Debo's out, Kittle's out. He's going to be the guy. You'll be number 1. So you're expecting Trey White to lock him down. He needs to have a big game today.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. We talked about the interior of the line. To me, it's Braden Fisk. I need to see it. You've done here in flashes. Consistently, can you beat the right guard? Consistently, can you beat the left guard? And if by chance you have to rush over the center, can you do that? You have to be the guy to get pressure. You were drafted as a first rounder. You weren't a first rounder, but they thought of you as a first rounder. We need to see that production today.
Erica, your delivery?
Yeah, absolutely. At first I was like, do we go Jordan Whittington, who's a big, strong, physical player who, watching him warm up, I think he really can step up in that position. But how about the Rams fans here today? Like, I'm down on the field, as are you. The energy's feeling good. I'm seeing a lot of blue. People are really excited. I think it's time to deliver this home environment we're all excited for.
Yeah, great call, Ricky Hollywood. I like that. We've already talked about mine's Alaric Jackson, right? This team is in an 0-2 deficit. He's not the only reason, but his absence is probably the thing you felt the most, I would say, right? Like Stafford's been hit over 20 times, sacked 7 times. Too much can't happen today, especially going up against Bosa, who's hit him and dropped him more than any opponent since he became a Ram in 2021. Can you keep his blind side safe? That, to me, is the delivery of the game. And that's a wrap on this Rams pregame show delivered by Little Caesars. With the Little Caesars Pizza pregame, Game Time Grub just got more rewarding. Click on the QR code at the bottom left of the screen and order in the app on game day to earn rewards. Once again, kickoff coming up at 1:25 Pacific on Fox. You can catch our radio broadcast on ESPN LA 710 AM and Jack FM 93.1. For D. Farr, for MJD, and for Ricky Hollywood, I'm JB Long. It's the home opener, Rams and 49ers here in Week 3. Enjoy the game, hoping it's a winning one.